Anyway, let's just go ahead and just, keep on moving and to see about the fact that if hopefully, God forbid, trying to let Dry Bones, our teammate, to able to actually land on that, that event space. So, will makes it a little bit more happening. I'm guessing he did made it. Yep, which is true. And we'll take that way, because even then, oh, actually, no, wait. Yeah, you can't even go to the right, because obviously, you have to take the from that specific route that the Conveyor Belt was actually, like, directly trying to get us to. So, here we go, folks, on to the forms of the special event here, and since after all, we've got a pickaxe, and we got ourselves a golden opportunity, then we got ourselves a glorious star. I don't know if it's possible that you could get 2 stars out of from this event, but even then, we'll see what happens now. If the other teammates might actually go after it by, trying to able to get the final pickaxe right there. So, at least to be more specifically on the right side of the board. And once that's been done, then obviously the happening space will be gone forever. So even then, unless if you replay the board again. Yeah, so that makes it clearly obvious here. Okay, tall order. I think we've played this last time before, so hopefully we'll play this one again. See, Fernando, let's just get this thing to it. So, another thing I forgot to mention about this, actually, is the fact that, we've actually got about, I would say, not too long left when it comes to, like, the day's limitations, as far as I'm concerned, that, Nintendo actually, announced there's gonna be not 1, but 3, Nintendo Entertainment System games coming to the Nintendo Switch Online services, by the forms of Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, and especially noticeable with Punch-Out featuring Mr. Oh, really? We lost by the 2 princesses after all. But either way, though, we'll let them win as it is. So, anyway, as I said before, it contains Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, aka the toughest Mario games ever made, and there's also Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream, and finally Star Soldier. So, excuse me, and that's as far as we can say about it here. Yeah, because, there's only like 3 games coming out. I think it's gonna due out on the forms of, I would say the 10th of April, which in this case, by the forms of, like, the day's day, it was actually by the forms of at some point in, Tuesday? I'm presuming so it's Tuesday, because even then, that way it can give us a little bit more of an opportunity about the fact that some of these, titles for the, by the forms of the actual Nintendo Entertainment System software will be released by then. Yeah, probably true from that. So, but then again, there's not much else sorry, I can't speak today. We can't really, mention more details onto that specific stuff at this point, because even then, though, since after all, that we've already mentioned several stuff worth mentioning for when it comes to this board itself. Even because of how the fact that we've already, like, mentioned some more stuff here and there, and since then, we have to take the Bob-Omb, so even then, though, just like in a Mario Party mode, that, that you have to cope with trying to able to actually let the Bob-Omb, tag along with you, but, just like before, that, you do get, 3 zeros to able to actually get lucky enough, or if you're unlucky, by considering getting yourselves, -1, so even then, that way it just takes away your movement again, so... Alright, so we're making faces again, but I believe there are 2 variations of this minigame, like the one we've already done, which is the Mario version, and now this time around though, we are playing the Bowser version. Yeah, which just makes it a little bit obvious here. See, Fernando, I'm very glad that some minigames do have their different variations, just like the forms of how it does in the old days, but they most likely maps out the same way for how it does it as the previous variation. Like, for instance, the Mario's version of making faces minigame. But they all function the same way for this Bowser version of this minigame. But the biggest difference is here that, it's just a different part of his face. So that makes it clearly obvious here. So another thing I want to explain about this, potentially speaking, is the fact that we actually now finally got ourselves our brand new shelves sorted out, which at the moment we actually did manage to put up. Specifically, the Wii U stuff, and especially notable with the Sega Dreamcast stuff, and especially noticeable with the Sacred Saturn stuff at the moment, which even then though we say at the moment because it wasn't exactly final planned at the moment, just because, well, at the moment right now, that whenever we get some more stuff, then hopefully we can able to actually, like, switch them to in a different spot of our shelves for the time. But I wasn't really sure about that though, because even then we'll find things out eventually, so... Anyways though, turn number 13, things can go really quickly, don't you think? Yeah, especially because of the fact that since in the previous turns, we always attempt to get like lower numbers and such. And it looks like Dave once again got the matching bonus, so no questions to be asked for. And it looks like Peach gets a -1. And it looks like she's gonna go after, she probably goes after Koopa Troopa as the next ally. So, but again, we're far more behind when it comes to getting allies and such. And son of a... Oh god, we're getting pretty unlucky, don't you think? Yeah, cause get it, because it's turn number 13 represents unlucky 13. Yeah, so in this case, by the forms of that specific tradition, it's basically the unlucky turn ever. But even then, we'll find things out whenever we get to the later turns until at this point throughout. So, yeah, as far as I can cover. So anyways, we got 2 coins, so that's okay. And we get 6, and we get ourselves an additional 1. So that way we could able to, get ourselves a 7. So even then, we'll go ahead and land on here. But if we don't even make it to the forms of that star space before Princess Peach might actually get to it, but even then, we'll see what happens there. Seems so far anyway, we don't seem to be able to come across into the bad luck spaces yet. Well, I'm guessing because of the fact that they are very well hidden most of the time. Alright, so half the battle. I'm pretty sure we've played this one before, so even then though, that hopefully we can able to actually win this again ever since last time. Although, we might actually lose this just because of the fact that, you know, Team Princess Peach, that they got like more allies, despite the fact that Daisy doesn't have any sort of allies whatsoever. But we'll give it a go though, see even then though, that makes a little bit more of a count though anyway. Anyways though, so... Dry Bones, really? Hopefully we don't let them just trying to catch up. But either way though, that's besides the point for that part. So, anyways, let's grab these 2 pieces before we can. Although, it would be nice to able to actually have ourselves the allies to begin with, just in case. It just makes the entire minigame extremely easy to be winning for. Yeah, true that. And another thing is worth mentioning though, is the fact that, well, recently, that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has recently revealed their new updates of the forms of that game, but in forms of version 2.0.2. I'm not exactly sure how do I describe about that update, and it looks like we got another tie for this minigame. Yeah, just because of the fact that, well, just like in Joel Gentors from Mario Party Star Rush, that if you get zapped by the forms of the actual amps, your piece will be able to scattered on any parts of the actual, like, halves of the arena. So, yeah, we generally got screwed over by that tie from that, you know, that Daisy and Peach, rather, did manage to make it to another point in time. Yeah, kind of convenient though, but even then though, that's besides the point. And I get a strong feeling that Peach might actually get the next pickaxe. In addition with that, she also managed to able to get into the star space. So, alright, so there goes the second pickaxe. So even then though, the question is though, is the fact that Ohama Bro is there. But it all depending of how the fact that if the computer players, sorry, a little bit of a tongue twisting in the end, folks. I do apologize for that. But let's just hope if how the fact that we can able to get Hammer Bro, if depending of how rubbish our rolls are, then you know you get the suggestions here. So alright, so it looks like we're still in the lead at the moment by 2 stars above. So yeah, we don't have to worry about this anytime soon. So even then though, that expecting if, you know, the luck usually involves around here. So even then that makes it totally obvious here. Alright, so where's the next star is going to be at? Well, it looks like it's going to be almost right near to Dry Bones is. So it could be a best opportunity that we can able to actually get that star with our ally. Or in this case, by the forms of the partner, I should say. So anyways though, yeah, I'll also stuck with the forms of the Rosalina dice block for now. Yeah, because, you know, that dice block I found it's actually pretty good to use. And it looks like, oh, matching bonus, how about that? And we get ourselves a 4, regardless. And we actually got, 1. And, I think we'll go ahead and land on that, happening space right there. Because, expecting of such, that, differently from the Mario Party mode, that, if you ride on that, well, you have to force the able to actually, go into the other part of the actual board. In this particular variation of this event, you have to pay like coins in order to actually, depends on what items you get. Like for instance, for example, that Bob-Omb did manage to have a little bit of a fun thrill ride on the forms of that minecart, and then as soon as he comes back, he actually gives you something that's very rewarding, like the item right there, the golden pipe. So, expecting that if you guys are thinking that the golden pipes weren't there for the whole entire point, but it turns out it did, but only on the rare occasion. So even then though, that thankfully though, we actually got that by pretty lucky right there. So in this case though, we're definitely gonna have to use that on specifically the next turn though, just because, well, you know, we just have to get some more stars and hope for the best. So yeah, that probably gets the idea about the forms of the actual star pipe itself. So, speaking of, well, don't you mean the golden pipe? Oh, sorry, I keep on thinking of Mario Party DS for some reason. Which, you know, functions the same way for how it does in the golden pipe in this game though, so... Alright, so looks like the next star space, it was once again at the very beginning of the board. Yeah, or in this case, almost right near to the start of the board. Yeah, for, you know, just like in the forms of how it does it on the Domino Ruins treasure hunt, but, you know, tall order again? Oh jeez, they really want to let us win this time around though, so I guess that begs the question. Alright, so let's just hope if we can able to win this time around though. Let's just hope if, you know, the timing skills wasn't as, you know, dumber than I thought, but even then, we'll give it a go. So even then, we'll just have to, like, hopefully, God forbid, trying to win this time around though, because I swear to God, Princess Peach and Princess Daisy, they just seem to get pretty lucky with all the skills they achieved. Well, yeah, which I felt was kind of surprising, but either way though, let's just go ahead and fill up the last few bits of ice, and sure enough, we did win this. Because obviously, the actual snow is actually almost at the very top of the actual snowy mountains, alongside with the actual, like, the Oreo right there, from the actual distance in the background. Yeah, I thought it was very cool to look at though, where it kind of feels like the same way, but how it does it on Mario Party the Top 100 in, I would say by the forms of the Snowball Summons minigame. I thought I might as well think about the same thing, do you, Sonic? Well, maybe so. Alright then, so on to turn number 15, if I remember correctly. So even then though, we're almost nearly towards the end of Gold Rush Mine. I could definitely tell about the fact that this is easily one of the shortest game boards we can able to deal with. Yeah, because of how the fact that, you know, the partner party itself, well, sometimes the most of its turns can usually be taken, you know, whatever these little multitude of turns and all that stuff, it goes down pretty quickly. Yeah, because, you know, that they sometimes moves, like, somewhat at the same time, but, the only thing you need to able to, like, keep in mind, though, is the fact that you need to wait until when, someone else finishes their walking animation. Anyways, though, so let's go ahead and use the golden pipes, even then, we'll go ahead and get up to the star. Well, if depending of, how good the rolls are, so... Yeah, that probably gets some, potentials right there, so, okay, so, yeah, no matter what though, let's just still stuck around with Rosalina dice block. Yeah, just in case. And looks like Dry Bones is going to be using his own dice block here. And we'll go for 4, and a 1, so that makes 5, and 2, so that makes 7. And then let's just see how we can get in. So it looks like we made it. Although, except Dry Bones, because... well, obviously, once again, he was off by 1 space again. Yeah, kind of a shame though, but even then though, that's what dice block, random luck factor comes into play though, still. But anyways though, there's our, I think this is star number 6. But then again, you don't have to worry about the forms of like the stealing star mechanics from this particular mode. Unlike in the Mario Party mode, that you do need to able to steal stars from Lakitu. So there is though, there's star number 6. So even then, we are 4 stars above from Team Peach at the moment. Yeah, pretty lucky victory at for this point in throughout. So anyways, we got ourselves the hidden block card. Okay, thanks Dry Bones. Yeah, I could appreciate about that stuff. So anyways though, I believe the next star is going to be on the top right of the board. Yeah, almost near to the forms of that event space that we did manage to stumble across from the previous turn. So yeah, I don't know if we can able to catch up from here. But again, the only way you can actually get to this point in a fastest method is the fact that if you land on that event space, then you could potentially try to able to go ahead and, you know, just, you know, land on that happening space until you're able to change the conveyor belt's direction. Alright, so here we go with Troll the Line. So, the only minigame we have not played yet is Rowboat Uprising, because even then though, even then we'll mention more on that if we manage to stumble across it, until whenever we get to the next board of, you know, the partner party until the next weekend. So, and surprisingly enough though, Pinkie Pie, we are consecutively that we're actually on the halfway point of partner party already. Well, not exactly completely yet, but even then we'll definitely get to the halfway point after this board is finished. And then until then we actually got the 50% left of the partner party, and we're about to be moving on to the next mode. So, again, most of these videos goes down really quickly and fast. Although, the only modes we need to focusing on after the partner party, which I will admit though right away, I think we should probably go ahead and deal with, which minigames should, or which mode should we do exactly? Could be either River Survival, or, Soundstage, or, in this case, other side modes, which there are, you know, just basically just, Toad's Rec Room, or minigames that we like to show off, and consecutively that will save Challenge Road at the very end. So yeah, because you know that's definitely one of the single player experience of this particular game so far. So yeah, and also showing off the online mode as well for this game. So even then though that, although we still haven't not signed in for our Nintendo Switch online membership you know, voucher yet, even then though that we'll definitely do that whenever we let's just say we'll do that after Soundstage, if we like to say so. Probably that might be a good opportunity right there. Yeah, and yeah, we did manage to use the hidden block card, and what we get with that is just coins. Typical standpoints though, really. So, but even then though, that we got ourselves a 4, and plus 1, so that makes 5. I don't think we can able to easily make it, but let's just take, yeah, why the heck not? We'll go ahead and just, you know, squish Daisy as far as we could, even though despite the fact that we don't get as many coins as I've hoped. Oh well, what can you do? Especially because of how the fact that, you know, random coins amounts were able to start to kick in. But either way, let's just move on to the next minigame, just for kicks. I think we've played this before, so naturally though, but this time around though with a, well, you know, just a different characters and all that stuff.
Start.
Anyways though, let's get this thing to it, so even then we'll go ahead and get a ball, and obviously we can't pass them to one of your teammates sadly, but again, you have to cope with the forms of like, you know, just your controlled player and all that stuff. So, oh, so close to able to score that, even by the forms of almost towards the edge of the actual goalie right there. Yeah, which I will admit though, it's almost like very impressive for that time. So, anyway, again, not much else to really say about this video, honestly, because even then though, because we've already mentioned, several things of the forms of the Gold Rush Mine. It's just, you know, basically a partner party version of, King Bob-omb's Powder Cake Mine, but the difference is here is the fact that there are some slight, although I will say this for this matter, is the fact that, well, nothing really that much different around in that board, although the actual main mechanics might be exactly similar, but at the same time, it might be a little bit different. But either way, you know, you get the idea for that point. Wow, looks like we got 5 points, so we're pretty sure we've pretty much dominated for the most part, because I can say that, you know, just for kicks is actually way more better to me though, compared to Football FIFA for Mario Party 10, just because you don't have to rely on motion controls, because either way, thankfully, that we can able to use the analog stick or the actual joystick if you really want to move your characters around.
Ready? Yeah.
So let's do a high five thingy right here, and sure enough we'll get 10 points as to be expected. Even though despite the fact that, well, we've only got 1 ally so far. Yeah, because look at Team Peach right about now, even though you can't really see it right now because the minigame itself is finished. But so far anyway, I think they've got more allies than we are. Yeah, I know, if we could do it on the forms of the next board, it's all, you know, the next weekend, then we can definitely go ahead and get ourselves even more allies throughout. Well, the only problem with this though is the fact that we always attempt to concentrate on, you know, getting the stars most of the time, because, you know, stars is key to winning, but even then though, that's besides the point right there, so... Okay, so it looks like, yeah, Peach managed able to go to the other way, so that's where the star is. But of course that, Peach still need to cope with the forms of that Bob-omb right there. Yeah, truth about that. And, how about for Daisy? Well, let's just see what happens here. And it looks like she once again lands on that lucky space right there. Even though, unlike any forms of that previous board, that you... this happens the 3rd time in a row. Jesus Louise. Anyways though, let's go ahead and keep on moving. And sure enough, we're able to actually still use... Strangely enough though, it's the fact that we always attempt to use Rosalina's dice block this whole time. Yeah, just because I feel like that her dice block is actually pretty good. Even because of how the fact that, well, it does contain like +2 coins. And that's about it. Unlike, you know, in a boost dice block, that he does contain like negative coins effect. Yeah, probably true, because he was a part of the Bowser's minions, or the Bowser's characters, as far as I'm concerned with. Oh, that's not good. But we can easily escape it from here in time, because even then though, that we don't have to get exploded most of the time, so, but I digress. Alright, another minigame, let's see what we have here. We have perfect fit again. So, because we've already played this before, so even though there's no need to able to practice this again. So anyways, let's get this thing to it. Alright, so let's go ahead and, Dry Bones. What are you doing? We're supposed to be able to help out. I mean, think about it for a moment. Yeah, I know that. Alright, so it looks like we've once again dominated everything for this minigame. Yep, truth be told, we still dominated as it is. So, and I believe fundamentally though, is the fact that I'm pretty sure we're actually on the final 3 turns already. Yeah, I cannot even believe that we almost getting towards the end of this board already. And then after that, then, you know, we're pretty much going to be moving on to the halfway point of the partner party until whenever we reach to the next mode. So even then, though, that hopefully we can get this Let's Play finished at some point, well, after or before E3 is about to be on this horizon. Like, specifically the E3 Nintendo 2019. But even then, there's still no information about the forms of Nintendo Direct yet, even though that once again leaks is going to be present around here ever since the very beginning of the year. But even then though, that's we'll see what happens here in the future days, until when you, Sonic, needs to get back into Shadow the Hedgehog, until like, you know, until tomorrow anyway. Yeah, probably true for that retrospect. And it looks like that once again, that 2 stars is now shown up, so yeah. So, as far as position goes with this board so far, I believe our Team Boo was actually in 1st place, and Team Peach was actually in 2nd place. So, you know, the usual standard stuff though, really. So, yeah, you get the idea for that point. Anyways though, onwards to the final 3 turns, you know, from Gold Rush Mine. And there's Waluigi as an ally, so I don't know if we can able to actually make it towards him, but we'll see what happens there. But I get a strong feeling that Daisy might go ahead and use the dueling gloves. So, yeah, because if you manage to use that, then you have to participate with, the dueling match along with somebody, just like in Star Rush and the top 100. But, except the fact that, well, you get the idea for that point. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. How many seconds you have to go for? Oh, crap, I forgot, sorry. I would say 8, but I think the game tells me I need to go for 10 seconds, which, unfortunately for us though, we are too late. Yeah, because unlike in Star Rush though, that it takes you several seconds time before you're able to actually trying to dominate for that particular duel mini game. But to me though, I wasn't looking on the screen though, so even though that's totally my fault. And as a result, we have no allies whatsoever now, so we are essentially gonna get screwed over. Yeah, especially because of how the fact that, well, looks like the princesses might actually go ahead and just trying to conquer everything on this board. Well, not necessarily though, just because if you can see, oh, Diddy Kong was there too. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to that. And also there's Pom Pom once again, ever since in Domino Ruins Treasure Hunt. At least we could potentially try to get her if depending of our dice rolls is good. So in this case we got the unlucky 13. Why unlucky 13? Well, we still need to be able to stumble across the Bob-omb as a temporary ally. So, or in this case, the actual, the worst ally. So, yeah, but still, we still need to cope with him, I suppose. Hi. Anyways, though, so I think that's as far as we can able to actually say about the forms of this board, honestly, especially with some new stuff that's worth mentioning. But we couldn't able to actually mention more details about the forms of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's new update. But I'm sure enough is the fact that the version 3.0 will still be later being released, or in this case later being updated, at some point at the end of this month, alongside with the Joker Fighter. Oh, we're doing half the battle again. I'm pretty sure enough though this time around though is the fact that I'm guessing that Team Peach might actually conquer everything. Yeah, just because, they got more allies than us, so in this case we'll be doubly got screwed over, because even then, that, again, if you have more allies than the forms of how it does it from previously, well, it gives you a best opportunity that you can actually get yourselves even more points as a result. But even then though still, we are essentially gonna get a lot screwed over than we think. Yeah, due to not so concentration with, with any kind of, things in mind. So, yeah, that kind of stinks. So, anyways, I'm pretty sure that you can also use the Dueling Glove in Mario Party mode, which I think I've already mentioned about that at the very beginning of this Let's Play. Yeah, assuming that we've actually mentioned about that too. Which, functions the same way for how it does in Partner Party, but, except, you're just individual or some kind. Yeah, it could be potentials though. Anyways though, so, yeah, it looks like we're never gonna catch up, because obviously, yeah, they did manage to conquer everything. Dang it all. Fine, whatever. We'll let you win. Yeah, just because that the princesses hasn't won the actual minigame for... I think the last time they did win a minigame, it was actually by the forms of Tall Order. Yeah, it's probably true. Oh well, no big deal. Anyways though, last 2 turns left, so on to turn number 19. So, I don't know if we can get an opportunity that we could able to get ourselves on next star, but we'll see what happens there. Anyways though, so it looks like Peach and Daisy might actually go ahead and get themselves the 3 and 5 makes 8. And looks like, oh wow, they got, well, Daisy goes to 13 and Peach gets 12, so, oh jeez, I wonder. And it looks like Peach still misses the actual opportunity for that star space, because again, you need to be dead on with that particular movement. Yeah, and once again, Daisy needs to cope with that Bob-omb as a temporary ally, so, wow, it looks like kind of thinking about it though, I believe every single player's now actually got themselves Bob-ombs, as a temporary ally. And it looks like we'll get -1, but as long as we be fine with this, then sure enough, we're able to land on that instantly. Thank you. Yeah, because that way we can instantly get ourselves 2 stars with no doubts. So, even then though, generally speaking, that's, yeah, do appreciate about that stuff. But again, if you want to get like the higher roll and stuff, well, you're pretty much gonna seriously get screwed over. Like, if the bob-ombs might actually give you like, you know, negative 1, then you're probably not gonna catch up. Well, there are some other times though, it can actually help you out throughout, but you know, you get the idea for that point. Alright, so we got 2 stars so far, so that leads us to 8 stars. So, and it's a shame that Dry Bones still once again doesn't have an opportunity that, you know, we could able to get ourselves like 4 stars in one turn. Anyway, so it looks like Toadette is now going to be at the danger zone, in this case a star space, so I don't know if anyone else can able to make it there anytime, because, you know, we've already got the final 2 turns, so anyways though, next minigame we have Social Climbers. Please be Social Climb. Oh, really? Find fruit forecast again. Save Nintendo. I'm pretty sure we haven't played this one for quite a long time actually. But at least we're able to actually play it nonetheless. So anyways though, although kind of thinking about it though is the fact that we've already played this before, so yeah, at least that extends to the very beginning of the board. Yeah, I think we actually did anyway, because I really do apologize for my memories. It's actually going almost like Amnesia, almost like Shadow, but either way though, that's just me anyway, so anyways though, let's see how many points we can get to. See, and it looks like we actually gonna get ourselves, well, 102 this time. Yeah. So yeah, how about that then, huh? Alright, so I believe we are now moving on to the 20th and the final turn of Gold Rush Mine. And, you know, after we're done with that, then we can able to move on to the next board entirely. Excuse me, I got something in my throat there. Again, no, that's just to say, because, you know, that's what we can think about. Unless, whenever I get back to Shadow the Hedgehog until, like, tomorrow and stuff like that, even for the majority of the next week, in this case, Monday through, Friday, most notably with, what day is it again? The 8th of April to, the 12th of April, that, you can able to actually get back to Shadow the Hedgehog until you're able to discuss upon more things. Yeah, I think this might be true for me. Alright, so it looks like Peach might actually go back onto that conveyor belt, but since they did manage to land on that happening space, then obviously the actual conveyor belts will start to change directions. Oh, this means Daisy will get screwed over because she cannot continue forward because obviously that she needs to cope with like going through another way. In this case, this happens. So what happens is, Daisy cannot move at all, so... What the hell? Oh, okay, I do not... Okay, it looks like that Daisy might actually got herself, like, 2 bob-bombs? Okay, that's a little bit weird right there. But anyways though, I can assuming that, I would say that Diddy Kong is now no longer there with Daisy though. Okay, that's a pretty weird thing to be able to notice this. But nonetheless though, we'll go ahead and get Pom-Pom as it is, but it might be pretty worthless though, because even then though, since we're on the final turn already, and chances are that, yeah, it looks like the other team might get the next star, so in this case by the forms of either the buddy bonus, or potentially speaking with the ally bonus, so, but things can get a little bit more worked out these days though, doesn't it? So anyways though, on to the final minigame of, you know, Gold Rush Mine. Sorry for the actual, like, the dialogue, situations going on, because obviously there's not much else to talk through, so pull it together, which even then note that, although despite the fact another team gets, like, more allies than, us at the moment, we can mash the actual button fast as we could. Okay, come on, pull it together, come on! Oh, come on, it's almost there. Okay, no, okay. Whew, that was pretty close, actually. Yeah, I get a feeling that Diddy Kong wasn't on there now. Yeah, because, due to that Bob-Omb, just managed to get rid of him right there. Yeah, that can get a lot of screw-overs right there. Yeah, because, you know, just like in, Mario Party Star Rush, is that you can only carry 4 allies at a time, so, but then again, that's just how we can explain about this, potentially, speaking of such. But anyways though, on to the final results in Gold Rush Mine. I cannot believe this has actually gone up for 2 videos at this point. So, yeah, because, you know, unlike in the very first board of Super Mario Party, that we actually did manage to go through 4 videos, for the majority of the time, speaking of such, that we actually did done 3 videos each. So, might actually be the only board to be able to actually go through 2 parts. So, pretty interesting, actually. Alright, so which bonus goes to, ourselves, mainly Boo most likely. Stompy bonus, which is actually exclusive to the forms of the Partner Party bonus stars. So in this case, whoever got the Stompy star then. It looks like our partner Dry Bones. Okay. Oh yeah, because he stomps the actual, computer players the most out of. And finally, the ally bonus, which, to be expected, it will be on Team Peach. Yeah, just because they got more allies than us. Yeah, probably true. And turns out that Peach got more allies. So, yeah, generally, buddy forms of just 3. Yeah, which is probably, you know, self-explanatory most of all things. Alright, so the winner in Gold Rush Mine is Team Boo, such as ourselves. Yep, by simply we did manage to conquer everything on that particular board. Well, aside from the ally system, which we're still far behind from it, but still, regardless of such, that we still managed to conquer everything. So yeah, we got 10 stars. Yep, pretty true for that little knowledge. So let's take a look at the graph. Wow, we're going really high by that point. As for detailed results, we actually got, well, we could have got that for the minigame star, of course. And items, I think we actually used a lot more items than Team Peach does. And as for the allies themselves, obviously Peach won that. And for running star, I'm guessing Peach might win that, because I could imagine the fact that that was being the case, but no, it's just like completely random again. And as for the lucky space though, we've only landed on 1 of them, and then Daisy lands 2 of them. And no versus spaces, which is odd, because unlike the previous board, though we stumbled across that twice. And as for the event space, we did land on that, everyone else lands on it except Daisy, and same applies for the item space. And it looks like none of those bad luck space, including extra bad luck space, is nowhere to be landed. And as for the other 2, by simply like stomping, and especially like, you know, I'm pretty sure Dry Bones did manage to, you know, got the Stompy star. So, anyways though, that concludes the second board in Partner Party, Gold Rush Mine. So join us the next weekend of Super Mario Party. Is the fact that we're about to be moving on to the 3rd board in the Partner Party, and that will have to be by the forms of the Watermelon Walkabout. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.